Finger Squad in the building. What it do, y'all? Let's go ahead and get. I got the man. Everything just falling apart over here. Screen wasn't working. Hit me with a bruh if y'all can hear me. Put this over here on this side. Launch up GNS3 and get this going. Today's lab is Lab 21, changing the native VLAN and shutting down unused ports. Hit me with a bruh if y'all can hear me in the chat room over there. Wish I could move this thing out of the way. Pop out the chat. No, I want to pop that out. I can see restore the chat. Okay. Got GNS3 launching over here. And that's what I wanted to see right there. We are launching GNS3. Again, this is native VLANs. This should be a really easy lab, y'all. Again, hit me with a bruh if y'all can hear me. Look like it's just me so far. Native VLANs and shutting ports. Really easy lab. If y'all know anything about the native VLANs are VLANs that are in which frames are not tagged. Excuse me. So you know, like if you put a port in a specific VLAN, right? All the frames that'll go to that VLAN, they're going to be tagged with that VLAN. So if we got frames in VLAN 10, all the frames in VLAN 10 have that tag, right? But before they get broadcasted into that domain, the tag comes in with the VLAN 10, right? The port sees it, takes off the VLAN 10 tag, and sends it off to just the broadcasted it to VLAN 10, right? Now the native VLAN are frames that don't have any tags on them. It just comes in the port, and then they just send it off with just no tags on them. So by default, like let's say you buy a switch from Cisco, right? Joseph got your CCNA, but I still have beef with the native VLAN. It is a confusing topic. As a matter of fact, I have the CCNA as well. I just like going over the basics and stuff like that. And plus I was studying actually for the CCNP exam, but I just feel like if you don't practice this stuff every day, and plus I know there's some holes that I left when I'm studying for the CCNA, so I want to be super thorough before I actually move on with the with CCNP certification. But anyways, in this book, as we can see, it says how it's defined. 802.1q also defines one special VLAN ID on each trunk known as the native VLAN, defaulting to use VLAN 1. So you buy a switch from Cisco, right? Take it out the box. All the ports going to be in VLAN 1, right? That's considered your native VLAN, right? So as it says here, by definition, 802.1q simply does not add an 802.1q header to frames in the native VLAN. So basically, they don't put this right here. You're not going to see this with a frame that's in a native VLAN. That's in the native VLAN. So we could change it to, like, instead of VLAN 1, put the ports in put the native VLAN to, like, I don't know, 105 or something like that. As a matter of fact, that's what we're going to do in this lab. We're going to change the native VLAN, and I'll show you guys that all the ports are in VLAN 1 at first, and then you can change the native VLAN from there. So you can put any specific port in the native VLAN. Those frames won't be tagged, and that's what they basically saying there. FaZe, what up, bro? I find myself going back to CCNA stuff also, bro. Yeah, man, because I feel like, you know, I've been studying CCNP stuff, but I'm like, I don't remember studying this for the CCNA, so I go back. There's a lot of holes I got to fill, you know. So, and I'm just really passionate about it. I just feel like there's just so much to learn before you move on to the, you know, professional level or even the, you know, IE level. So, as I understood, native VLAN is used for equipment's devices who do not understand VLAN. That is correct as well. As a matter of fact, that's what it says right in here. Where did it say that? The 802.1q native VLAN frame provides some interesting functions, mainly to support connection to devices that do not understand trunking. Just like you said, that's smooth. For example, a Cisco switch could be cabled to a switch that does not understand 802.1q trunking. The Cisco switch could send frames in the native VLAN, meaning that the frame has no trunking header, meaning this guy right there, so that the other switch could understand the frame. Because remember, back in the day, they used to have ISL, which is inner switch link. So it was a trunking protocol that you used between switches. But then after that, there was just like, well, there's other vendors that had that can trunk as well, but they used 802.1q. Cisco could do both ISL and 802.1q. They got rid of ISL, and then now pretty much all switches understand 802.1q trunking. But the native VLAN thing, that is so that way you can trunk with other switches as well. So as I understood it, does not. Native VLAN is used for equipments who do not understand VLAN, just as like what I said from the book. So yeah, shout out to S-Move for pointing that out. I think we're gonna go ahead and get started. All we need for this, if you guys got Packet Tracer, you can do that. If you got GNS3, you can do this. If you got Even G, you can do this. This should be a really easy lab. We're going to be in and out, I say in about 20 minutes, man. Less than that, man. Because I seen this lab. I'm like, oh, this should be easy. We just got to change the ports to native VLAN, and we're shutting down unused ports, which I'm pretty sure, like you guys said, some of you guys got your CCNA in here. We should be able to knock this out. So just drag and drop a switch in here. Really easy. We're just going to name him Switch 1. How you guys doing today, man? Happy hump day. The objective of this lab exercise is for you to learn and understand how to change native VLAN. Oh, by the way, this book, if you guys want to follow along, is the 101 Labs Cisco CCNA version 4, written by Paul Browning and Farai Tafa. Paul Browning has been in law enforcement for like several years before he got into IT. And then he started authoring this book. He co-authored it with Farai Tafa, who is he's a CCIE. So really good book. I love doing hands-on stuff like that, and I'm just passionate about this stuff. So anyways, let's go ahead and console. Actually, let's power this bad boy on. Do we want to start all devices? No, there's only one. Console into that bad boy. I already started it. What am I doing? Console is what I meant to do. Phase 1, I'm going to knock out this AWS, then back to CCNP. You know what? I want to do some AWS stuff too as well, phase 114. The job that I'm currently at right now, I just got this job as a network engineer, and they leverage AWS technologies in our environment as well. They don't got me touching none of that stuff yet. You know, I'm just, I've been sitting in closets doing layer 2 stuff mostly, but they just starting to let me get into the data center. I'm actually doing some stuff with an MPLS router right now, so slowly but surely I'm, getting a bit more responsibilities and stuff like that. So that's been pretty fun, man, and it's been a dream of mine to become an engineer for a while. And my managers, my supervisor, the guy who's training me, he's always been telling me, like, you said you wanted to get out of the closets, right? You're in the data center now. Here's the real thing. So I'm with it. So, but yeah, we got AWS stuff too. He's gonna, they're gonna get me doing some of that too, but that's probably gonna be later on down the line. This switch is super slow right now, so hopefully you guys, I don't know, are you guys using Packet Tracer or AO says configuring ACLs right now? Okay, cool. What's layer 2? So layer 2 is basically, it deals with frames, MAC addresses, VLANs, and stuff like that, versus the layer 3 switch is the same thing as layer 2, but it also does routing. So if we're talking about layer 2 versus layer 3 switches, but when you want to compare layer 2 to layer 3, layer 2 is mostly, yeah, like I said, MAC addresses, frames, VLANs, and stuff like that. Layer 3 has to deal with routing and IP, basically. If you know anything about the OSI model, right, there's layers 1 through 7. And when we refer to layer 2 and 3, layer 2 is, like I said, MAC addresses, frames, VLANs, and layer 3 is IP and routing and stuff like that. Joseph B is a network analyst. I was working in NOC as well, learning Server 2012 for my job. Hey, it is what it is, man. While you're in here, just keep studying, and you're off to a good start, man. I was a network analyst as well. I worked at a hospital system, but it was a little bit more hands-on too. It was racking switches and stuff like that. The main part of my job was switch refreshes and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't really like servers too. I thought I wanted to deal with servers and stuff like that, but later on, GNS3 is always messing up. I still use Packet Tracer. Facts. Phase 114. If you'll see in my channel, we've been doing a couple of these videos, and it's been crashing on me on a couple of live streams, and I'm just like, trying to show people how to do this stuff, and this thing's crashing on me. I ended up having to use Packet Tracer, resorting to Packet Tracer in some of these videos. So let's go ahead and console in this bad boy. We're gonna name him. Why do I do this? I need to make this no IP domain lookup so it doesn't do this domain lookup here. How did you become a network analyst? So through contracting. I went through a contracting agency, and they basically the job that I was working at. As a network analyst, I used to work there in help desk, so they already knew who I was, and that's why they say it's not what you know, it's who you knew. They already knew who I was. I worked there for like 3 years. It's just that I left because I wanted to get in the network and I couldn't move up the corporate ladder, so I ended up leaving and then coming right back, but as a network analyst, and it was more hands-on. What's the difference between network NOC technician and a network analyst? It's, man, to be honest with you, it's just a name game. It's just a name game, man. You know. Some places a network analyst could have some job responsibilities of a help desk guy, you know, and vice versa. Not technician, you basically sit in what's called a network operations center, and you're basically monitoring devices, and that's the main functions and duties of a NOC technician. But anyways, let's go to privileged exec mode, then global config mode. Change the host name. This should be easy, right? Switch 1. And they said they wanted us to do, the first thing was to set any interface to trunk, then specify VLAN 20 as the native VLAN for the trunk link. So let's do the first link. Let's see what we got so far. Remember what I said remember we just powered this switch on, right? So we ordered it from Cisco, right? And they shipped it to us FedEx overnight because that's how we do. We balling like that. It gets here the next day. And we open it out the box, right? And we do show VLAN brief, powered on, this show VLAN brief, and we'll see all the ports are, like we said, y'all can see my screen, right? All the ports are in VLAN 1, right? By default. That's basically the native VLAN. Correct, I do it all. Help desk, servers, routers, wireless access points. See, there you go. It's just a name game, man. Some places might call you a network analyst and they like, we want to pay him more, let's call him network technician, or we want to pay him less. So, you know, when they add engineer to your title or something like that, or senior, then they know they got to pay you more. So it's just all a name game, man. It just depends on the organization, so don't get too hung up on it. But yeah, typically that was my goal. Main goal was network engineer. But yeah, see how Joseph, he does it all, but yet he works as a network analyst. So it depends on the organization. So all these guys are in the VLAN 1, which is the native VLAN. So let's pick one, right? Let's look at gig 00, and we'll say show. How can we check that again? I believe it's just show interface GI00 and then switch port. Yeah. So we add switch port keyword to the end, and we'll see that the native VLAN is VLAN 1, right? Is that how you do it? Oh, that just lets us know. Yeah, that's the native VLAN, VLAN 1. And if we change, they said they wanted us to make one of these ports as a trunk, right? So let's set GI00 as a trunking port, right? So we go to global config mode, interface GI00, switch port mode trunk. But remember, we do this, we're gonna get this command rejected. Interface whose trunk encapsulation is auto cannot be configured to trunk mode. So in order for us to do that, we need to set it to some sort of encapsulation. Right now it's set to auto. As we can see right over, where's the encapsulation? Encapsulation. Do y'all see that? How'd you land a job? Do you need search or anything like that? Oh, you talk to Joseph. What were we looking for? Encapsulation. I think you got to go to, there we go. Administrative trunking encapsulation is set to negotiate. We don't want it to negotiate. We want it to stay hard-coded as a trunk. But we need to set the type of encapsulation. So we're going to say switch port encapsulation. No, switch port trunk encapsulation. The options we have is either negotiate, which is what it's set to, or auto. ISL, which is it's going to use ISL trunking encapsulation when trunking, or .1Q, which is only 802.1Q. So we're going to hard code it to that, since that's the open standard. And I did that wrong, didn't I? Encapsulation. Oh, you got to actually type in .dot1Q. I don't know why they did that. But then switch port, now we can switch port mode trunk. That hard codes it as a trunk. We do show interface GI00 switch port. And now we could see the trunking, negotiation of trunking is on. So it's hard coded as a trunk. The encapsulation is .1Q as opposed to, where was it? Negotiate. That's what it was before, right? What else they wanted us to do? They wanted us to set any interface to trunk. Okay, we was gonna set it. We set that interface to trunk, and then specify VLAN 20 as the native VLAN for the trunk link. So we're gonna go back to that trunk link. Global config interface GI00. Ccna, but MCSA. But let me say this: my background was just help desk. Same thing, Joseph. I was doing help desk for a good 3 or 4 years, and then worked at a NOC, and then a network analyst, and then finally became a network engineer. So I kind of like worked my way up the the old-fashioned way, getting a degree. I got my degree before all of that, but then and then I finally got a couple certs. I started out with A+, Net+. Then I got my CCNA, and then I got the CCNA, and currently working on my CCNP. But like I said, I do these videos to kind of like, you know, go over the basics of CCNA, fill in any kind of gaps that I may have and stuff like that. I wouldn't mind being a NOC tech. I'm a student of IT tech. Yeah, it's a good start, man. To start as a NOC tech, you'll understand the basics of networking and stuff like that. Got my CCNP, and you help. Man, I appreciate that, man. Congrats on getting your CCNP, J. Muhlenbruch. I am a huge network, man. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for watching and stuff like that. I'm glad you got your CCNP. You got it before me, man, because I was working on it for a while. I put a bunch of videos up, but just before Certpocalypse happened, I did not have time to take the T-Shoot exam. So I got 2 out of the 3 exams, but now I got to work on the NRC. But I'm just going over basics of CCNA, and I'm bringing all of you guys with me. So, you know, tag along with me, right? We was going to set this guy as a native, change the native VLAN, right? And I believe you got to do, how do you do that again? I can't even remember. See, and this is why I like going over the basics. We need to set him as a native, change the native VLAN to, geez, I'm not going to go all over this to do all of that. So we're in him, right? Switch port, trunk. And then I believe you could do native. There it goes, right there. So native, and then VLAN. And he said they wanted us to specify VLAN 20 as the native VLAN for the trunk link. We're in GI00, and we're changing the native VLAN to VLAN 20. Pop quiz. What is the native VLAN when you take it out the box? Somebody put it in the chat. That's our pop quiz for today. We changed it to VLAN 20, and we could verify that with show interfaces trunk. That's one command we could do it with, right? So now we've changed the native VLAN to VLAN 20. Yes, I know I failed route as well. Passed the last Friday before the switchover, and RC is cake. That's good to know, bro. I want to take the NRC exam. I'm going to, but like I said, just doing these videos and stuff like that, I've been having fun, you know, teaching you guys and stuff like that, and filling in the gaps in my knowledge. I learned Juniper during COVID lockdown, and I'm grateful. That's what's up, Joseph, man. Congrats on that. Joseph B got it right. VLAN 1. J. Muhlenbruch. Brook. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right or not, but you're one step behind Joseph B. But yes, you're correct. VLAN 1 is the native VLAN when you take it out of the box and by default. So we changed it to VLAN 20. Y'all see how we did that, right? The native VLAN now, right? And we verified that with the show interfaces trunk. We're allowing all the VLANs on this trunk. And another way we can verify that is with show interfaces and then the trunk, which is GI00, and then adding the switch port keyword at the end. And we'll see right there. Native VLAN is VLAN 20. But notice it says inactive. Does anybody know why it's inactive? Can anybody explain that? I know why. Anyways, while we're doing that, while y'all figure that out, I'm going to move on to the next task. Next task was task 2. We got 2 out of 3 tasks, right? And then after that, we're calling it a night. Shut down ports 10 through 15, inclusive. So that should be easy. Does anybody know? Again, the question is why is VLAN 20, the native VLAN, inactive? Anybody know why? So we are going to, What they say wanted to do? Oh, shut down ports 10 through 15. Well, I might not even have 10 through 15. Show interfaces status. Let's see what I got here. Yeah, so I got all of these ports over here. So y'all interfaces might be different. So let's just do. I'm gonna just do this. I'm gonna shut down the last. I'm gonna just shut down these last 3 ports right here. GI 3.1 through 3.3. So because like this numbering is off and stuff like that, man. Because the way they got the I guess the modules or whatever. So interface, and we could do all of them at the same time with the interface range command, right? You guys familiar with that? 3/0 through 3. I had this exact issue in one of my labs. It's inactive because wait, do you have to interface VLAN 20 no shut? Might be wrong. You're close. I think it's because there has to be a port in VLAN 20 for it to be active. There has to be a port in there. Yep, that's it. S Smooth said, yeah, that you're correct about that. But let's see. We'll try to make it active just as a bonus. So I'm gonna do this range right here. We're just gonna do a shutdown. That should shut down all those ports. They wanted us to do 5 ports, so let me just do 2 more, right? What other 2? 2.2 and 2.3. I'll do those guys, right? One at a time. Shout out to Joseph B. It's interface VLAN 20, no shut. Yes, I think you're right about that. But could you? What if you put a regular access port, not a routed port like that, and put it into VLAN? Will it be active then? And you plug a device in it. I think you got to plug a device in it as well. But yes, you're right. You have to have. Yes, both of y'all are correct. You have to have a port that is active, like has some sort of like it's not shut, and something is active on it. So it's unshut, and if you have a regular access port, then a computer or something has to be plugged to it. So yeah, S Smooth, shout out to S Smooth and Joseph B for getting that correct. 2.2 through 2.3. Let's just do that and shut those guys down too. I forgot the range keyword there. Range. Shut those bad boys down. And the last one was issue the relevant show commands to prove your configuration, which we've done pretty much so far, right? Show interfaces status will prove that we, if I could spell status correctly, will prove that we shut those ports down, right? That's why they're disabled right there, right? Good question. All that? Not all of it. Not all of it. You could do either or, Joseph. So you could no shut the interface VLAN 20, or you can have an access port with something plugged in it, or not necessarily something plugged in it, but it has to be up, if that makes any sense. So not all of it, just either or. And we'll as a bonus, we'll test that theory out. So, man, I love Cisco. Dude, I'm a Cisco fanboy myself. But anyways, we shut those ports down. Another way, and I'll show just for anybody that walked in late, another way we can verify that we've changed the native VLAN was show interfaces trunk, right? We changed the native VLAN to VLAN 20 like they asked us. We changed the encapsulation to 802.1q. I think that's what it was, but well, no, it was set to negotiate. And another way we can verify that was with show interface GI00 and then add the switch port keyword towards the end, and you'll see there's another way to verify the native VLAN. What else? That was pretty much it, man. That was the last of it. Unless they have another show command they want us to run. Let me see. Yep, switch port. Yeah, that was pretty much it, man. Oh, they named their VLAN 20 to support. They didn't ask us to do that, but that's what it says in the solution there. Let's test out Joseph B and S Smooth's theory about that. So y'all notice this is just a bonus lab. I mean, just the bonus kind of like theory we're gonna do here. VLAN 20 is inactive, right? How do we make the native VLAN active, right? S Smooth said we have to put in a routed interface, like an SVI, in VLAN 20 and make it active, right? So we go to global config mode, but I'm not gonna do that one. I'm gonna try mine first and then plug a device to it. So let's do interface. Let's do GI01. This guy's not trunking, right? GI01, right? Interface GI 0/1. And then I'm gonna say switch port mode access, switch port, access. I'm gonna put that one in VLAN 20, which is the native VLAN. Access VLAN does not exist, creating VLAN 20, right? So now we got VLAN 20, and then let's do a show interface trunk. No, not trunk. We need to know, oh, yes. We need to know if it was active or not. So I put that port in VLAN 20, right? What did I want to do there? Switch port, and then see if it's active now. It's active. Technically, it's active. Y'all remember it said inactive, right? So we go up. It was inactive. I put a port in it. And now it just says VLAN 20 because VLAN 20 was created there. So let's do this. Let's test these guys' theories out. I'm starting to love Cisco too. Just the tedious parts are a nuisance. I think that is just packet tracer thing. Show interface description will show you the status as well. Good. Let's try that too. Show interface description. I don't know. No, it just showed us that they're down. But if we do show interface status, which was the other one you said, show interface status. Don't forget to drop a like. Yeah, appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Gonzalo in the building. You just be showing up. You like you like Bigfoot, man. It's like a sighting, man. This guy show up. There we go, right there. So this one is trunking. That is in VLAN 20, but I wanted to verify that VLAN, the native VLAN, was active. So let's do this. Let's take out the GI01 from that interface. I mean, from that VLAN. So interface GI01, no switch port, access VLAN 20. Trunking is a layer 2 function. Yes, it is. What else we wanted to do? Let me show interface. Let me just go ahead and type. Stop being damn lazy. Show interface GI00, switch port, and VLAN 20 still there, right? So we have a layer 2 VLAN there. So that's what made it active. But what if we delete that VLAN? This is just, again, experimenting. We're pretty much done with the lab. So no VLAN 20. We got rid of that VLAN. Show interfaces GI00 switch port, and now it's inactive. So we didn't do what you said, S-Move, the interface VLAN 20. Cisco Mel in the building. Shout out to Cisco Mel. That is why it activates when you add a port to the VLAN. Yes, that is correct. So S-Move was saying we needed to do a route like an SVI, so like interface VLAN 20 for it to come up. But y'all see I didn't do that. Yes, exactly, SVI. I was like, what the hell is an SCI? Damn, I missed a lot in the Ccna exam. But yes, he meant SVI. You didn't. You could do an SVI, or you could do what we did, was create the VLAN 20 and then put a port in it. Actually, we didn't even have to put a port in it. We just had to do create the layer 2 VLAN. And let's do real quick what Jay Muhlenbrook said. Am I pronouncing that right? This the interface VLAN 20, right? So right now, y'all can see, right? VLAN 20 is inactive. That's the native VLAN, right? What we learned about today. And for y'all to remember, the native VLAN is the VLAN that is default. All the ports are in native VLAN. When you buy this, you buy a switch, you take it out of the box, they all gonna be in VLAN 1, which is the native VLAN. Basically, this VLAN that's not tagging any of the frames, right? S-Move said, not S-Move, who is this that said that? Yeah, Jay Muhlenberg. To create the interface VLAN 20, which is our native VLAN, right? So we just do interface VLAN 20, and then no shut that interface. And now we'll check the native VLAN. It's still inactive. Riddle me this, Batman. VLAN 20 is still inactive, and we just did the SVI, right? And I'll show y'all real quick. Show interfaces status GI. Where is it? Maybe because I got to put an IP address. Bro, I'm happy as fuck. Just found my IT job at the age of, man, Gonzalo. I got my first IT job at age of 30 as well. Well, actually, it wasn't even an IT job. It was an internship, and I didn't really get my first like IT job until like 2000 when I was 32. So age ain't nothing but a number, bro. What happened to interface VLAN 20? Didn't I no shut it? Changed to down. Okay, so let's no shut it. I didn't do that, did I? interface VLAN. This had me stuck on an OSPF lab. We're going to be doing OSPF pretty soon here too. I don't know where in the book, but you know, this is the easy lab. We're doing all the easy stuff right now. Try a no shut. Yes, I will AO. VLAN 20, no shut. Because it was down. You're right about that. Is it raining? Yo, that's crazy. Florida is crazy, man. Yeah, I did do that. Do I need to put an IP address? No, I just need to create a VLAN. Let's do show VLAN brief real quick. VLAN 20 is not in here, so that could be why. Let's just create the VLAN 20. Well, we know that once we do that, that's what's going to make it active. So encapsulation, right? Yeah, we did that part already, Cisco Mel. I missed what happened. What we was trying to do here is when we changed the native VLAN, it said that the native VLAN is inactive. And my pop quiz for the day was, why is it inactive? Everybody's theory in here was that we had to create an SVI in that VLAN. If no shut works, I'll be happy. Joseph, I just tried a no shut and it did not work. So I think what we need to do is just, all you really need to do is create a native, a VLAN, layer 2 VLAN, and it should bring it up. So if we just do VLAN 20, let's just name it support. It is raining right here, y'all. What's the weather like over there at where you guys are at? Joseph, aren't you like in Australia or something like that? I don't remember. Show both sides have to have the same native VLAN. Yeah, but we oh, I forgot. I should have got this out of the way. We only got one switch here that we working with. So we was just trying to, once we put a port in a native VLAN, we wanted to know why is it inactive. So we do show VLAN brief real quick. We created VLAN 20, and now it's active, I believe. So that could be why. There it is. So interface VLAN 20 is up. And let's go ahead and wrap this up right now because I wanted to wrap this up really quick. This should have been a really quick lab, but I was doing too much explaining here. But I like to, you know, go every nook and cranny, even no matter how small the subject is. Over here, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, Danny. Jesus Christ. 2:35. Wow. Show interfaces GI00 switch port, and it should be, there it is. Well, that's just the name, I guess, but either way, it's active. So it doesn't say inactive anymore. Put a port in that VLAN now. Yes, but either way, it's active. That's what I was saying too, Cisco Mill. As long as you put in a port in that VLAN, it should be good. But I didn't even have to do that. As you can see, it doesn't say inactive anymore. So when it said, once I created that VLAN, the SVI came up, plus it was active where it said inactive before. So yeah, that was pretty much it. Again, if next time you guys want to follow along, there's a link down below in the description box. 101 Labs, Cisco CCNA version 4. Learn by doing. You can go to either 101labs.net to buy this book, I believe. It's authored by Paul Browning and Farai Tafa. There's also, again, a link down below. That just takes you to Amazon, so you can get it. So that's easier to find, unless you want to Google it and look for it there. But other than that, if you guys have any questions or anything else you guys want to point out, did I miss anything? All we did today, as a recap, was change the native VLAN and shut down some unused ports. So if you missed any of that, you can replay the live lab. I don't have anything else for y'all. Please hit me with that like button. Hit me with that like button. If you guys are part of any like Discord servers or any forums like Cisco Learning Network or anything like that, you know, let them know that I'm going over the basics with CCNA. You know, I don't know everything. We're all learning here. I just learned some stuff from S Smooth as well as Joseph B. Which book would you recommend for the CCNA? Damn, my thing is turning off over here. The standard, this is pretty much like the status quo book right here, man. This is like the de facto official cert guide. Sometimes they call it the OCG manual, meaning official cert guide, CCNA. There's a volume 1 and a volume 2. That's the book I would recommend. Yeah, that's pretty much the standard. If you just go to like Amazon and just type in CCNA book, this is probably the first one that's gonna come up. This is the official one from Cisco. Well, it's not from, yeah, it's from Cisco Press. So anything else? bruh, Jay Muhlenbrook. Any pointers on iOS for GNS3? Well, I actually work for a Cisco partner or a company that actually, has a Cisco license, so I can download like images and stuff like that. Do I have any pointers? No, but if you do a really quick Google search, I'm pretty sure you can find it. Cisco Mail. Gonzalo said OCG all the way. He agrees with me. You have this automation class, but can't find the iOS. Yep. Yeah, if you do a really quick Google search, I'm sure you can find it. But again, I work for an organization where, we could just download pretty much anything because they have a license for the entire organization. So pretty much it's like a site, they call it a smart contract is what they call them, or smart licenses. What search do you have? I have the A+, which pretty much expired, Network Plus, pretty much expired, and the CCNA. I was working on the CCNP back in the day. Before last year, you had to take 3 exams to get the CCNP: route exam, switch exam, and the troubleshoot exam. I took route, I took switch, but it was too late for me to take T-shoot, so I'm only pretty much 1 test shy of getting the CCNP. Joseph B's about to go eat. I'll holla at you later, bro. Thank you for tuning in. Go on eBay and get real equipment. I agree with you. Jay Muhlenbrook. You wouldn't run into bugs like I did the other lab. I'm gonna try to find another image, or when I go to work, I'll try to look for another image that works better. But the one that we had pretty much crashed on us a couple times. Did I take the new CCNA? No, I have not, Danny. I have taken the last time I took CCNA was back when they had it split into 2 exams. You could take ICND1, ICND2, and then you can get then they issue the CCNA to you. Now it's all in 1 exam, but yeah, they pretty much all put a whole bunch of basics in there. So basics for VoIP, basics for wireless, basics for security, all in new ones. So I know I did not take it yet, but I do have the exam guide. I know what's on it and stuff like that. Route sucked. It really did. Did I fail it? Yeah, I failed it once and then I passed it the second time. So yes, Jay Muhlenbrook, you're right. Old school. Let me get the lady to tell y'all this. Yes, I am old school. I am old school. I'm gonna stop playing with y'all. Anyways, you got any other questions or anything like that? Hit me up. Leave a comment down below. Hit the like button. Please subscribe to my channel. Again, let everybody know. Oh, I'm a mod. Yes, you are, Kelvin, man. Kelvin, you showed up last minute over here. I put you as a moderator. You was answering everybody's questions in here. I said, yo, we got to keep Kelvin on here because he is a smart dude. And yeah, y'all subscribe to Kelvin Tran's channel. He's got a lot more complex stuff than this. We're playing with 1 switch. This dude got whole topologies and stuff like that. So if you want more advanced technologies and stuff like that, visit Kelvin Tran's channel. Other than that, I don't have anything else for y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Anyways, Kelvin, all we did was just change native VLAN, shut down some unused ports, and that was it. Hopefully I'll be on time tomorrow. Yes, please, Gonzalo. Walking in here all late and everything like that. But it's all good. What you could do is replay the live stream, and that's pretty much it. Oh, this is the random one right here. That's why. Anyway, for now, comment, like, subscribe to the network. Bruh.